Hello, Mom. I heard you were hospitalized for malnutrition. Weren't you eating properly? I've been sending you money, Raymond said. Yes, thank you for that. But it's only 60 cents. The fee to transfer the money costs more than that, so don't worry about it. 60 cents? I thought I was sending you $100 a month. I am Caroline, and I'm turning 80 this year. I lost my husband 5 years ago and now live alone in a small, old apartment. Since I got married, I've been a full-time housewife, relying on my small pension and my husband's survivor benefits as my only income. Life is tough, so I try to save money however I can, especially on food and utilities. Today, it's been snowing lightly since morning, but I haven't turned on the heater to save electricity. Instead, I wear a thick jacket and layer warm pants inside the house to stay warm. My fingers are cracked and bleeding from washing with cold water, and my left hand is swollen with frostbite. While I was cleaning up after lunch, my daughter-in-law, Samantha, came to visit. Hello, mother-in-law. I brought your medicine for the week. It's the usual $80. Samantha brings me medicine every week. Raymond cares for me too, but he's very busy as a pharmacist at a large hospital, so Samantha helps me out. A few years ago, Samantha would take me to my checkups, but now she just delivers the medicine to save money. Still, it's expensive for me, but I'm told that stopping the medication would make me feel worse, so I keep buying it. Samantha used to work as a pharmacist like Raymond but now works part-time at a local drugstore. I'm grateful for her help, but today, I asked her, by the way, have you seen the box of rice crackers I kept in the drawer? The one with the children's scribbles on the lid? It's been missing since last week. I pointed to the dresser in the back. Last week, I'd asked Samantha to tidy up the area, but since then, I couldn't find the box where I kept my savings. Samantha looked surprised. A box of rice crackers? I don't know anything about that. Maybe you put it somewhere and forgot. Please don't blame me. She looked upset, took the money for the medicine, and left. After putting away the medicine, I grabbed my cane and went to the post office. Since my husband passed away, my only income has been my pension. My son Raymond tries to help by sending me money each month, but when I checked my bank account, I saw just 60 cents deposited, barely enough to cover anything. Still, it's a kind gesture, even if it doesn't help much. After the post office, I headed to the local grocery store, where I know the owner, Dane, who's in his 60s. He's always friendly, and he lets me buy leftover or slightly damaged vegetables at a discount right before closing time. I always shop late to get the best deals. Today, I bought some bruised turnips, radishes, and wilting spinach from the grocery store. When I got home, I pickled the turnips and radishes in my homemade brine. These brine pickles, which I've made for years as a hobby to save money, have a great flavor and texture. I had a simple but tasty dinner of spinach and pickles. Lately, though, my health has been getting worse. I feel dizzy when I stand up, and even small movements leave me out of breath. My nails and fingertips look unhealthy too. Maybe my body is weak, because I haven't been eating well, trying to save on food expenses. I've had health issues in the past, but I usually brushed them off as part of aging. Recently, though, the pain has become unbearable, and the dizziness is getting worse. I decided to call my daughter-in-law, Samantha, to ask if she could take me to the hospital. Are you sure you need the hospital just for dizziness? She asked. I'm really busy, and so is Raymond. Can we do it another time? Disappointed, I hung up. Even if I did get to the hospital, I'd struggle to pay for both the medical bills and the transportation. Samantha asked me not to contact Raymond, saying he was in a crucial period at work and to only reach out if something urgent happened. One day, while chatting with Dane, the friendly grocery store owner, I suddenly felt another intense wave of dizziness. I couldn't support myself, even with my cane, and had to squat down. Dane hurried over, asking, "Are you okay?" "I'm just a little dizzy, nothing serious," I tried to assure him, but when I forced myself to stand up, the world spun, and I fainted. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed with Dane sitting beside me. I had an IV drip in my arm. Dane explained that after I collapsed at his store, he called an ambulance. I'd slept through the night, and it was already morning. The doctor told me I had anemia, caused by severe malnutrition. My bones were weak, and my condition was more serious than I had realized. I worried about the cost of the treatment and wanted to leave, but the doctor insisted I stay hospitalized for a week. Dane looked at me, concerned. "Caroline, I always tell you to eat properly. I was really worried when you collapsed like that." "I'm sorry for making you worry, but I don't have any money." "Don't you have an eldest son?" Dane asked. He works at a hospital, doesn't he? He should be able to send you some money. He's a pharmacist, and he does help. I smiled weakly, unable to say more. I receive a small monthly allowance from Raymond, but it's not enough to cover my living expenses. I also have to pay Samantha for my weekly medicine, and even my pension has been reduced. Dane suggested I should be getting more money, but I don't feel right asking for more, even from family. Now, I'm mostly worried about the cost of being in the hospital. There's no way I can afford these high medical bills with my limited income. Another worry crossed my mind, my rice brine pickles. If I don't stir them every 3 days, they'll spoil. After thanking Dane for helping me, I tried to find my phone to call Samantha, but the battery was dead. I don't remember Samantha's number, but I've memorized Raymond's since it's similar to my home number. Even though Samantha told me not to call him, I couldn't avoid it this time, so I borrowed the hospital phone to reach out. Hello? Oh, thank goodness. It's been a while since we spoke. Raymond, it's your mother, I said, feeling a bit guilty for interrupting him at work. Samantha usually discouraged me from calling Raymond, but I needed to hear his voice. Mom, where are you calling from? Raymond asked, sounding surprised. Reluctantly, I explained that I'd collapsed and was now in the hospital. He sounded shocked. What? Malnutrition? Mom, haven't you been eating properly? I've been sending you money for that reason. I'm so grateful for your help, Raymond, but, well, I've been getting just 60 cents a month. It's a sweet gesture, but I'm sure the transfer fees cost more than that. 60 cents? What do you mean? Raymond sounded puzzled. I told him about the 60 cents I'd been receiving each month, letting him know I appreciated it, even if it wasn't much. I thought I was sending more money than that, he said, his voice sounding strained. But wait, Mom, weren't you supposed to be going to the hospital each month? I thought you were getting your medicine. Hasn't the doctor been checking on you? Samantha brings the medicine to me every week, I replied. I haven't been to the hospital in years. Lately, I've had bad dizziness and heart palpitations, and I did want to go, but when I asked Samantha, she said she was too busy. Just the medicine every week? Raymond, are you listening? I asked. He muttered something quietly, as if he was deeply worried about something. Anyway, I know you're busy, but could you bring me some clothes and my insurance card on your next day off? Also, please stir the rice brine pickles every 3 days, I said. Raymond replied, I have the keys to your house, so I'll leave work early today and go there. Don't worry about the hospital bills, I'll be there by this evening. Raymond sounded preoccupied, but I was grateful he was coming right away. I reminded him, make sure to wash your hands and stir the pickles with your bare hands. He showed up that afternoon, having left work early. As he organized the clothes and belongings he'd brought from the house, he asked me carefully about everything, the house, my health, the medicine, and Samantha. He also brought my bank book, and we checked it together. It showed a string of deposits of just 60 cents each month for the last 5 years. Raymond frowned at it intensely. Since our morning call, Raymond had seemed unusually tense. I'd tried calling him a few times each month before this, but he'd never picked up or called me back. I felt bad for making him leave work early today, so I apologized casually, but he just asked me a series of questions. Then, he quickly pulled out his phone, typing intently. I wondered what was going on. After sending a message to Samantha, he grabbed his backpack and told me he'd be back soon. Left alone, I felt an odd sense of worry, but I lay down to rest. That evening, Raymond returned and asked how I was feeling. After receiving 4 fluids and finally sleeping in a warm bed, I felt much better. We were chatting and snacking on some fruit when Samantha entered the room. Oh, mother-in-law, how are you feeling? Raymond, you took off work, huh? Samantha asked, giving a forced smile as she sat next to Raymond. Raymond didn't respond. Instead, he looked down at my bank book, gripping it tightly. Before I could say anything, he spoke in a serious tone. Samantha, Mom's malnourished. Do you know why? Samantha fell silent, and a tense feeling filled the room. Raymond turned and looked directly at her. Mom has been broke for years, barely able to afford food. She's cut back on electricity and gas to survive. When I went to her place today, there wasn't even a heater, in the middle of winter. Wait, Raymond, calm down. We're in a hospital. This isn't Samantha's fault, there's just no money. I tried to calm him, hiding my swollen, frostbitten hands. Ignoring me, Raymond continued in an angry tone. I asked you to send Mom $1,100 every month, but she's only been getting 60 cents. Samantha, what's going on? He thrust the bank book toward her, the repeated deposits of 60 cents clear on every page. I don't remember ever receiving $1,100, I murmured in shock. It was always just 60 cents. Raymond looked at Samantha, who avoided his gaze, silent under his furious stare. That's not all, he continued. I give you $150 every week for Mom's medical expenses. You told me you were using any leftover money to buy her necessities, but there was nothing in her fridge, just withered vegetables. Be quiet. I gave her the medicine, Samantha said defensively. What kind of medicine? You can't just prescribe something without a doctor's order. You only bought basic vitamins and put them in a medicine-like bag, Raymond shouted. I felt anxious as I listened to their argument. Raymond continued. You needed money, so you even stole Mom's savings from her dresser. He pulled out a small, crushed box from his backpack, one I recognized as the rice cracker box I had been searching for. It had a drawing on it from when Raymond was a child. What? No way, I gasped. I didn't want to believe it, but Raymond had found it while searching through the trash. You really did it, didn't you? Faced with undeniable proof, Samantha went pale. So, what did you do with the $250,000 that was in this box? And what about the $1,100 you were supposed to send Mom every month? Where did all that money go? Stop nagging, there's no money left, Samantha yelled back, trembling. She knocked over her chair in frustration. It's your fault. You always ignored me and focused on your mother. Ben is way better than you. Ben? Who's Ben? Raymond asked, confused. He's the coolest host at the club. I've been supporting him, and soon he'll be number one. He's saving all the money I give him for our life together. Raymond and I stared at her, shocked. It seemed she had fallen for this man and was giving him money. All right, Samantha, let's get a divorce right here. You should go after that guy, Raymond said quietly, pulling out divorce papers from his backpack and placing them on the table. Sign the papers and pack your things tonight. I'll stay at the hospital. What? Don't be selfish. You can't just decide that, she protested. Do you realize what you've done? Faking medicine and stealing money? If you don't want a divorce, we can go straight to the police, Raymond replied. Samantha, once confident, now looked fearful under Raymond's gaze. She began making tearful excuses. I had no choice. My part-time job wasn't enough. I took a little from the money you sent and the medicine fees, but I know it was wrong. Besides, neither of you noticed for years, right? You both share some responsibility. Enough. You went through my phone and blocked Mom's number. You deliberately kept us apart. Raymond slammed the divorce papers down hard. Anyway, this is goodbye. You will pay back every penny you took from us, or we'll go to the police. Finally realizing the severity of her actions, Samantha had nothing to say, tears in her eyes. She signed the divorce papers and left that night, like she was running away. Raymond demanded that she repay all the money she had taken over the past 5 years, which added up to over $900,000. I was shocked to learn the amount. Samantha later lost contact with the host and was banned from the club after causing a scene. Rumors spread, and she was fired from her part-time job. With no income, she struggled to find a place to live and had to sleep in internet cafes. What happened to her after that is unknown. I had almost given up on recovering the money, but her family learned about the situation and decided to repay the debt in small amounts. I was grateful for their effort, even if it wouldn't cover the full amount. After leaving the hospital, Raymond and I started a peaceful life together in the house Samantha had left. I had endured a tough time being exploited by her, but now I was eating well and my health was improving. Dane, the greengrocer who had always worried about me, finally felt relieved. I continued to make my specialty pickles. What had started as a hobby for saving money turned into something I shared with Raymond, who helped me improve my recipes. In a few years, my pickle channel became hugely popular, and I earned a good income from it. I had always thought making money was impossible for me since I had never worked full-time, but I learned the joy of bringing happiness to others. Now, I live a fulfilling life every day.